He made millions laugh, but his final moment came in silence. For years, Steve Bridges was the face that could turn any bad day into a good one. The TikTok comedian from Illinois wasn't just funny. He was magnetic. With his wild characters, goofy voices, and spot-on timing, he made over 2 million followers feel like they personally knew him. But this week, that laughter stopped. In a trembling voice that broke hearts across the internet, Steve's wife, Chelsea, appeared on camera, her eyes red, her words shaking. "I'm really sorry to get on and tell you this," she said, pausing between tears. "I think if I wait any longer, I'm not going to be able to do it." That's how the world learned that Steve Bridges, the man who spent his life making others smile, had passed away peacefully in his sleep at just 41. No warning, no goodbye, just a silence that millions are still trying to process. When Chelsea Bridges pressed record, the world didn't yet know it was about to lose one of its favorite online comedians. The camera trembled slightly as she wiped her tears, trying to find the strength to speak. Her voice cracked on the first few words. "I'm really sorry to get on and tell you this." And for a moment she looked away, as if hoping the pain would fade if she just waited one more second. But it didn't. She took a breath, then said softly, "I think if I wait any longer, I'm not going to be able to do it." That single sentence shattered millions of hearts. Viewers could feel the rawness in her tone. No filter, no edits, just grief in its purest form. It wasn't a polished announcement. It was a wife breaking the worst news imaginable, live to an audience that loved the man she had just lost. As her words sank in, the comments flooded instantly. Hearts, prayers, disbelief. But what struck people most wasn't just what she said. It was how human it felt. No press release, no PR statement, just Chelsea sitting in her living room, trying to keep her composure while the world learned that the laughter her husband gave them had suddenly gone quiet. To millions online, Steve Bridges was the man of 1,000 voices. Loud, ridiculous, endlessly funny. One day he was a grumpy dad, the next a clueless teacher or over-the-top boss, all performed with such conviction you couldn't help but laugh. But when the costumes came off and the camera light went dark, there was no performance. There was just Steve, gentle, grounded, and endlessly kind. Chelsea said it best through her tears. He was the best husband, the best father, and the sweetest man. The kind who'd pause filming just to help his kids with homework, or stay up late perfecting a joke not for fame, but to make one more person smile. His fans knew his characters. His family knew his heart. And that was the part most people never saw. The quiet man behind the chaos, whose real joy didn't come from the views or the numbers, but from seeing his wife laugh across the room. The man who lived for his family long before the internet ever discovered him. Steve's rise to fame wasn't backed by Hollywood studios or massive production teams. It was built from his living room, a phone, and pure creativity. With over 2 million followers on TikTok and 400,000 more on Instagram, he became one of the internet's favorite everyman comedians. His sketches were chaotic in the best way possible. Green screens flashing, wild voices echoing, and costumes that made him unrecognizable from one video to the next. What made people stay wasn't just the jokes. It was the way Steve captured real life. He made the ordinary feel extraordinary. From the frustrations of parenting to the awkwardness of small talk, he turned daily moments into comedy gold. Fans loved that he never pretended to be perfect. His humor came from the messiness of being human. For Steve, it wasn't about chasing trends or viral fame. It was about joy. He took what he loved, making people laugh, and turned it into a livelihood. Every video, every character, every ridiculous costume was a small piece of the legacy he left behind. A reminder that laughter really can be a full-time job, and one worth doing with heart. Steve and Chelsea's world revolved around their 3 children, the heartbeat of their home and, in many ways, the hidden inspiration behind much of his humor. When Chelsea spoke about them, her voice softened even through the tears. She explained that their kids were grieving too, each in their own way, and she wouldn't take that from them. "My children are on here," she said quietly, "so please be kind. They're Gen Z or Gen Alpha or whatever. I'm not gonna tell my children they can't grieve online. I will probably grieve online too. This is life now." Those words hit home for millions watching. In an era where the internet blurs the line between private and public life, Chelsea's honesty felt raw and real. It wasn't a statement crafted for sympathy. It was a mother and wife trying to navigate heartbreak in the same space where her husband had built laughter. The comments filled with empathy. Fans sent prayers, stories, and memories of Steve's funniest skits, turning his social media into a living memorial. But even in that sea of sadness, Chelsea found strength and shared a message the world needed to hear next. Through her tears, Chelsea shared a message that cut through the sadness and reached everyone watching. She didn't talk about fame or numbers or views. She talked about love, about family, about time. Her voice, though fragile, carried a plea that felt universal. Cherish the people you love, live your dreams while you can, and take care of yourself. It wasn't a celebrity statement. It was a reminder, raw and human, that none of us are promised tomorrow. "Try to live your dreams every day," she said. "Love your family and take care of yourself." Those words turned tragedy into reflection, making viewers pause and hold their loved ones a little closer that night. And while Chelsea grieved, the world rallied behind her. A GoFundMe launched for the Bridges family quickly raised over $33,000, with thousands of comments from fans who had laughed at Steve's jokes for years. Many wrote that his videos had helped them through depression, loneliness, and heartbreak. Proof that his comedy had done far more than entertain. It had healed. In the end, it wasn't just his family mourning. It was the digital family he built. Millions of strangers bound together by laughter, now grieving together in silence. Steve Bridges didn't just create comedy. He created connection. His laughter reached far beyond the screen, landing in living rooms, offices, and late-night scrolls around the world. In every skit, there was a spark of recognition, a moment that made people say, "That's me." And that's what made his work timeless. He didn't just make jokes, he made people feel seen. Now, as fans replay his videos, that laughter hits differently. It feels softer, more precious, like a voice echoing from another time. Steve made strangers smile, and he left behind a world that now smiles through tears. May his family find peace, and may his laughter echo forever online, not as a memory of loss, but as a reminder of joy, warmth, and humanity. If you ever laughed at one of his videos, take a moment today to send love and strength to the Bridges family. Because somewhere out there, one of Steve's kids might see your message and know their father's legacy is still making the world a little brighter.